Welcome to Council.
Thanks very much, Your Worship. Councillors, thank you for the opportunity to come by and give you our annual report on Visitor Centre. We have a PowerPoint presentation as well, which I think all of you have a hard copy in front of you. First off, we'd like to start by just giving you a bit of an update on the Chamber of Commerce and some of the activities that have been placed throughout 2007, and of course some of our plans for 2008. So far in 2007, the Chamber of Commerce, we're very pleased to report that we've had 38 new members. That's some significant growth from years historically. So the growth itself has come from a cross-section of industries within here. As you'll see, we've broken these categories. They're fairly generic: common attractions, construction, real estate, business services, professional services, etc. Yeah, our membership and profile continues to grow, and we're very pleased with the result of our efforts throughout 2007. The next, just to give you a little bit of information historically on what has happened in 2007. I'm sure you're aware that in the latter part of 2006 we had some management changes in the Chamber of Commerce. The board and myself, what we did is we identified that as an opportunity to really look at the historical spending habits, our revenue, do a fairly significant analysis of where monies are coming from, where monies are being spent, what various types of spending practices we had, etc., and just make some changes to that. So we've got a little bit of financial information that is available a little bit further on in the program, and you'll get to see where we've made some in that way. The other thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that we were enhancing our existing relationships with Downtown Improvement Association, Economic Development, and CSRD. And clearly, with our relocation to the old courthouse, we've been quite successful with Economic Development being able to give us greater opportunities to interact with those, and definitely done the same with DI and with CSRD. Probably one of our biggest in 2007 was the development space to the old courthouse, which took place in June of 2007. It's a terrific venue. We have a lot of very positive comments, both from people locally and tourists coming in. They find it very easy to locate. Parking is relatively easy. We do have an issue, of course, with large RV vehicles who buy. It's very hard to get a handle on whether or not they would have passed us by, or the parking is impeding their ability to stop in Salmon-Arm. But we had some discussions with, or a presentation proposal with the Downtown Parking Commission about getting some signage to get large RV vehicles parked down at the Salmar, and I'm certain that that'll take place next year, and we'll see the results of that. Next slide. 2008, just wanted to give you a little bit of information regarding some of the initiatives and goals that the Chamber has. Of course, we want to continue to increase membership within our organization. We're increasing profile and participation in business and community issues between myself and board members. We're sitting on social issues committee, we're sitting on affordable housing committees, and we'll continue to make ourselves as available, certainly as visible as we can, interacting with those organizations or with those committees. We want to resurrect and enhance local member benefits program, which is a program the Chamber had in place a few years ago, and it's sort of fallen by the wayside. And again, just with enhancing member benefits, we think that will continue to help foster and grow the Chamber of Commerce. As always, we're looking for and researching cost-effective operational programs and technologies to put into place. We run on a fairly lean budget, so wherever we can take advantage of technologies, we'll certainly do that. And of course, we hope to continually successfully manage the Visitor Centre for 2008. A couple of things in particular that I'd like to take note of is the Chamber will celebrate its 100-year anniversary. That takes place in the latter part of June of 2008. So we'll be having a number of and items of that sort to help celebrate the 100-year anniversary. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Community and Vacation Guide. 2006 was the first year the Community and Vacation Guide was put into place. We got a lot of really very positive feedback from individuals who used it, but we also took feedback that constructive for the purposes of revamping it. So I believe all of you have a copy of the new and improved version, which came out in 2007. We did some fairly significant revamp to it. In particular, we incorporated the city map into the middle of the booklet, and that's been a very good thing for us to do. We have a lot of people who were only coming in just strictly for a map, and this gives us an opportunity to showcase Salmon Arm even further. So we're really quite pleased with the changes of the guide, putting together a guide for 2008/2009, and we'll again be looking for incorporating further enhancements into that. Twilight Market, did our Twilight Market this year, the second year, again very successful. Continued to host it at the Ross Street parking lot, and appreciated the city's approval of us to continue to host it at the Ross Street parking lot. For 2008, we of course plan to stay there, and are very pleased with the plazette that's going in place. I think that's going to be a really nice enhancement, and we're hoping to be able to utilize that in some way, shape, or form with the Twilight Market, so that we can showcase a vendor or something along that line. Again, we're going to work to expand the vendors that participate in it, and ideally we get more local artists and artisans to participate in, so we can profile not only just sort of the smaller vendors, but some larger vendors as well. And of course we want to introduce some more family-oriented activities, again, just to increase foot traffic down through the Twilight Market. The next slide that I do have is just a snapshot of where the Chamber is sitting financially as of October 31st. You'll see the first column deals with budget, so our Chamber revenue budget. We'd anticipated we'd be at $109,000 to $115,900 over paid revenue, and on the budget was 90. We're actually at 85, so we're under by 55.76. So on a whole, as an aggregate, we've got a surplus of 11,476, and again, that just reflects back on the historical analysis that we put together, and just tighter practices as it relates to expenses. For 2008 budget, again, this is just a snapshot, but Chamber revenue we're anticipating close to 125,000. As it relates to revenue, our expenses will roughly be at 116,000. Our expenses are going to go up a little bit just as a result of having relocated into the old courthouse. Some of the costs are higher associated with that, but as you can see, the net result will be an $8,400 surplus, so we're able to work within that new structure for an expense. And the last slide is just to reiterate that the Chamber's been very proud to have operated and managed the Visitor Center for 2007. We're certainly committed to continuing to manage the Visitor Center for 2008 and provide exemplary visitor services. The next center, and what I'd like to do is invite Ingrid Kirchen to come up. We've got some statistical information which I think will be of interest to everyone here, so I'd like her to come up to speak to that.
Mayor Boomsma, Councilman, and ladies, thank you for letting me speak to you. My report is basically very straightforward and deals a lot with statistics. Our first page will indicate to you where our visitor center stands year to date. We do not have November and December stats in there, but all indications would tell me at this point that we will be up from 2005 and 2006. Visitor origins
is to prepare the property for sale. The property itself is a remnant piece that was part of the original airport property prior to the golf course from that parcel. The property is designated acreage reserve in the OCP and is not in the ALR. P2 zoning is obviously not appropriate, so the appropriate zoning being recommended is the A2 zone. A couple of items through previous discussions about this property are minimizing tree removal in terms of its location adjacent to the golf course, as well as minimizing all potential negative impacts to the golf course as well. Regarding uses, it's proposed that a restrictive covenant be registered on title, restricting agriculture,